Hi everyone, today we're going to learn how to do an upside down single welt pocket. Hi everyone, I am Chris and this is Simply Classic. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. We do a lot of fun things on this channel and a lot of tutorials on things that people post in the Facebook group and they ask me how to do, and we show you how to do it. So that's what we're going to do today. We had this photo right here posted on the Facebook group, and it is like an upside down welt pocket, single welt pocket. So the reason why I say that is because in clothing, a single welt pocket, typically the welt is on the bottom so that when you stick your hand in, you can just go right in between. And of course there's no zipper, but you just go right in between. So your hand slides in and out really easily. But in this case, we're going to turn this around and we're going to have the welt on the top so that we can take our zipper, unzip it, and now our pocket is here on the inside, okay? So I want to thank whoever posted this on the Facebook group. I can't remember who did, I'm so sorry. But I do want to thank you for posting that, because I think this is a super classy look. And you made the comment, I'm not really sure how functional it would be. And let me just kind of give you my opinion on that. Sometimes, even in clothing, we have designs or design elements on our clothing that are not super functional. But they're there because it's a statement, okay? They're classy, it's a good look. And I think that's kind of what this qualifies as. So sure, it may not be the easiest pocket to get in and out of because of the actual welt here. So you probably wouldn't put your cell phone in here, okay? Something you're going to need to get in and out a lot. But if you wanted to maybe put some, say, cash in here or a credit card or something that you don't necessarily reach for all the time, I think it's an excellent addition to an exterior pocket. Okay? Super simple, so let's get going. To make this, you're going to need a bag, and we're going to pretend that this is the front of a bag. You're going to need 2 pocket pieces. You're going to need a piece for the welting cord. Now, or not the cord, but the welting piece. I'm using a number 3 zipper, and I cut this piece to be 2 inches wide. It really doesn't matter the length as long as it's longer than your zipper. So this one's quite a bit longer. It doesn't need to quite be this long. This just happens to be the scrap. You could probably cut it, give yourself a good inch on each side. We're going to need some double-sided tape, a ruler, and a marking pencil. So the first thing we're going to do is draw a box on the back of our pocket, just like a regular pocket. I'm going to use a pen for this, and you obviously would not want to use a ballpoint pen. You'd want to use some kind of marking pen that will erase off your fabric. And because I'm using a number 3 zipper, I'm going to draw my box 3/8 of an inch wide. If you were using a number 5 zipper, you would want to mark your box a 1/2 inch wide, meaning the depth here from these 2 points. And then I'm going to mark it about 1 inch from each short edge. We're going to place this, and if this was my bag, I would center it on my bag and then stitch around this box. And so far, this is just like a regular zipper pocket. You want to make sure you have a little bit smaller stitch length when you do this. And then go ahead and stitch around. Okay, easy enough. So far, so good. So that's stitched all the way around. You can kind of see there on the back where it's stitched. And now we're going to cut down the center. Now if you want to draw a line, you can certainly do that. I'm just going to clip and then cut down the center. Now I'm going to stop about a 1/2 inch away from these short lines on this side and here on this side. And then I'm going to take some scissors that have got a really good tip on them, and I'm going to cut in the corners. And this is just like a regular zipper pocket. I'm sure if you've made a zipper pocket, you've done this a bunch of times. Be careful not to cut your stitches. And now I'm going to take this to the iron and I'm going to press it really good. Be very careful because you have vinyl here, or leather or cork, whatever you may be using. So you don't want to burn it, but you do want to press this pocket really well. You want to take a lot of care with this. Our goal is to not see any of this lining fabric from the front. Sometimes it's not that easy. So just be really careful with it. I'm going to push it through. I'm just kind of finger pressing it right now. And once I press it from the back, I'm actually going to press it from the front as well, but I'm going to make sure I put a pressing cloth down before I do it. Okay, so I'm going to press and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, I have my pocket pressed. And I'm going to tell you, this is a very unforgiving color, being so light, but that's okay because this is just for demonstration purposes. So we're going to set this aside for just a minute and we're going to go to our welt strip. We're going to put this wrong sides together and we're just going to baste it at about 1/8 of an inch down the long side. Okay, so from here we're going to put some double-sided tape, and this is a 1/8 of an inch, and I'm just going to put it just above this stitch line. And then we're just going to lay this on top and kind of line it all up until we like the way it looks. Now you definitely want the bottom of the welt piece to be on the bottom of the pocket. You want to get it so that it's close enough, it's touching. It's not necessarily overlapping, but you don't want it too far away either. So there's kind of a fine line. Just look at it and see what you like and just kind of fiddle with it till you're happy. Okay, I think I'll move mine down just a little bit more. Okay, that looks good. So now take your zipper. I'm going to put double-sided tape on it. And we're going to put it on the back of this. Now it's going to be a little tricky because you can't see your teeth, but at the same time it's kind of nice because if you can't see your teeth, nobody else is going to see your teeth either. So if your teeth are a little crooked in the hole, nobody's going to know. And that's like the bane of my existence, is putting these stupid zippers in here straight. They drive me crazy. So it's kind of cool that you don't have to worry about it with this. You are going to want the teeth of the zipper to be a little bit further towards the bottom of the pocket than the top, just so that your zipper pull will hang out nicely. I have found that out. So I'm going to kind of see where I'm at here. Line this up. Put my zipper pull through. And then put the welting right on top of the teeth. You can kind of lift up your welting cord just to make sure everything looks like it's, I keep wanting to call it welting cord. It's not a cord, it's a welting strip. Make sure it all looks pretty good. Make sure your zipper can hang out nicely. And now we're going to stitch around. Now, when we stitch, you want to really try to make sure that your lining is not showing through as much as possible. So I'm actually going to try to push my face fabric forward just a little bit as I'm stitching, so that if there's a little bit of lining showing, it'll help cover it up. Okay, needed some more bobbin there. So I'm going to zoom you in a little bit to do this, and I'm going to kind of be picking this up and holding my thumb against this lining piece, this pocket piece, as I hold this top part down flat to make sure that my lining is not showing through as much as possible, my pocket. All right, so here we go. So I got my thumb underneath here. I forgot to make my stitch length longer, so I'll go ahead and do that. And right here I can see my lining a little bit, so or my pocket piece, so I'm really going to try to pull this and push the pocket forward. All right, turn. Now, when you come around this side, be careful not to catch your actual welting piece in your stitch. Pull my zipper pull out of the way. Cut these threads. And then hold my pocket piece down. Just pulling my pocket from underneath. I think I want to go one more stitch. All right, pull that pocket from underneath. Okay. So cool. And then you're just going to sew the back of your pocket piece on. Now, before you do, obviously you want to cut your little welting pieces down. And your zipper if you need to. Okay. Burn your zipper if you want to melt your edges. I'm not going to worry about it because this is just a sample. I'm going to put this on top. Just going to kind of clip it in place. And then we're just going to place this right side up, fold this over, and then stitch down. Catch your little triangles here, and you're going to stitch right down this side. And now I'm just going to turn and flip. So the bottom. Turn, flip, sew this other side. I actually need to back stitch a little bit. I went a little bit too far. I'm not lined up with my triangle. That's much better. And then you're going to come across the top. Now the reason why you want to leave an inch at the top when we drew our box, remember I told you to start an inch from the top, is so that you have room to stitch up here. And then, just like that, you have an upside down welt. Not really upside down. Isn't that pretty? And then here is this again. Now, obviously, when you have a pattern, it helps mask anything that may not be exactly perfect. I used a blue in the pocket as well for this. See, it's like a blue, almost the same color as the fabric. But we have our welt. So use this on the front of a bag, post it in the Simply Classic Inspiration Facebook group, and until next time, happy sewing.